gonna be a straight quiz to fight. Telling me that never can wait. Yeah, I'm gonna get it right this time. Life is what we find. The second time around.
Hey everybody, Jesus Christ, the Western Chandler Sonichu Prime here once again, and today we're closing in on getting to the epilogue and all that, but right now we are going to be reading Chaos Crystal Control Act 8 with a lovely Zapbud in bloom right there, along with an advert for Home Alone being shown on television. Yeah, we're in Act 8. Let's get started. It's time to zap it up! Zap it up to the extreme! Yeah! Okay. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, yeah. Okay. Quill, Virginia, Tuesday, February 28th, 2006, 10 o'clock a.m. Before the battle with Team Rocket, Courtney and her sailor Nebula Neon Star 4 met others of the think tank, including Dr. Wolf, Lightning Bliss, Cosmic Christine Keyframe, and Matt's, also known as ANY. They talked about the situations, be back in 2022 in jail, and a collab project. Courtney was invited to the Psychic Squadron base for a meeting after the battle. The Psychic Squadron members were allowed in on the meeting as well. With the entire think tank, they met in the oversized meeting room. Courtney sat with Keyframe and Tara Strong, and KP and Rachel were penned in as well, at least for offering feedback. Obab Scribbler organized and led the meeting of the creators, chroniclers, and analysts in Quickville from 2022 and after of our timeline one saved here. David Halberg and Jordan legally advised. Scribbler speaks. Well, good morning, everyone. Quite the busy day we had, eh, what? Well, the battle with Team Rocket cleared away now. Finally, we can refresh ourselves before the Chaos Crystal Control event. Over the past period, February 26th and 26th and 27th. Actually, it's just a really long February 26th and a really long February 27th. Maybe not so much a time looping thing, but it's just because I felt like I was repeating the day, but still, it was just a really long day anyway. I have been thoroughly blessed in reading, thinking, and through. Thinking through and detailing Christine's entire log of Godslot pages and drawings in a special metaphysical and expanding book. This does include her pages from the 2 months at Western State, which unfortunately are now lost, and I am not able to actually have them within my folders here. They got drenched in the rain. They were the bots. Destroyed. Delivered. The Hunting Vessel Court. Destroyed in the rain. In any event, at least Pony Scribbler was able to read them. Presently, as my and Doc's roommate, Labette Sonichu has confirmed, we have reached Christmas Day 2022. Everyone gasps in concern, except Rachel and KP, who are getting these details fresh and processing them in unique perspectives thought, without phone distractions or such. Rachel and KP groan to that. Okay. And then Dr. Wolf says, Oh, I was fearing this might happen. The longer Mrs. Chandler remains in jail is another day of continued chaos on that half of the earth. Yeah, but as the longer that Russian tyrant attacks without Christ Chad personally able to see him vanquished by his own weapon, or even to make the trip to Israel, is another repeated day in the past for us to endure. But granted, we do have created liberties in how we chronicle into prophecy her safe and legal and quickest return to her quaint house. Apparently, it's not following into the future in this timeline, as we detailedly write. Silverclaw adds, well, but with continuity and maintain the sequences, it's a headache of a fight compared to our red versus blue. Scribbler says, quite right, Silver. Plus, it does not help that this. Plus, it doesn't help much that this timeline shifts. Wait a minute. Plus, it doesn't help much that the timeline shifts of differences between now in February 2026 and December 22 at the earliest were more than numerous. Ah, it is as Christine, it is as Christine even Magic Chan Prime had stated. We chronicled and fanficked so much, it had put us all out of sequence. Keyframe adds, well, yeah, our universe is the default one that gets written and rewritten when the media we make doesn't specify which universe or timeline is referenced. Exactly, Rachel and KP say. Rachel adds, even Discord knows it's not a good idea to have too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, the same applies for gods in a universe. Chris Starr, entered the room, adds, Christine has such a manifestation power and ability within. The one who essentially can is her. Yet her body and soul are separate entities, which brings a conflict within her that resonates outward to the entire universe, including both halves of the 1C211987 Earth. Scribbler responds, correct, Chris. As long as her body is in jail and fused with frustration, not only are the Earth and Equestria are at stake, but all of the universes in this timeline. Christine never ever even committed the crime at all in this timeline. Nor in any timeline. But with that she would have been jailed by false witnesses anyway around August 2021. It stood the divine plan for Chris to, frankly, take the bull by the horns and I might just reread this one and do an edit. As long as their body is in jail and fused with frustration, not only are the Earth and Equestria are at stake, but all the universe in this timeline. Chris never even committed the crime at all. But with that, she would have even been jailed by false witnesses anyway around August 2021. It stood the divine plan for Chris to, well, frankly, take the bull by the horns and take the false witness herself. And also in that test everyone in the 1218 have. It was bound to happen to her anyway, and hardly a way to prove or disprove it either way. Silver Quill adds, which makes it even harder to get her body and self out of jail sooner. We can't even retcon that to be she making it to Everfree Northwest 2021. Oi! Writing for God is difficult. Christar adds, exactly. No mortal can really alter the God's path, which is why we are chosen, because we all achieve God levels for ourselves at one time or another by going metaphysical, as has Chris. Problem is, her body's brain is still trying to tune in and master all that for herself. Scribbler thinks. Rachel ends up hitting the nail on the head. Why don't we prophesize Chris's brain to be advanced and developed to be able to make their powers work like they ought to? I mean, she's not Discord, but Christ-Chan can. Scribbler looks to Rachel. I think you may be onto something, Rachel. Courtney makes an observation. It's like SNT helping that other Christ-Chan from within his own mind in SNT versus Sonichu. A literal mind fay. Keyframe tells Courtney. Well, regardless of the mental challenge, we can figure out Chris's mind together. After all, Chris Star included, we have a few autistic minds helping us piece together that autistic God mind. And we also have Flutter. And in that very moment, Flutter comes in, enters the room with an empty, sugar-free Red Bull can to help out even more for the day. She was not there during the battles. The group converses on a plan in all of that focus. Even I could have told them that all at one point or another. Timing! Scribbler comments. At least you took the day off with your newspaper and writing Danielle and SNT's holy enlightenments to your friend. Yep. Thank you for your continued work, Scribbler and the think tank. You're very welcome, Christ-Chan, Scribbler responds to me. Rachel and KPS, can we have our phones back now, please? Let's see. Planet 2 Gain Industry, 11:30 a.m., Tuesday, February 20th, 2006. In the house they were staying at, since after Liquid Crystal Sonichu became a Commodore 64 breakout hit game, Scourge and Fiona were plotting their next moves with their drained, bluish-purple Chaos Emerald. Scourge very fast gathered tools and gadget parts for Fiona to modify and restore her portal device. Scourge ran and worked out while he fumed throughout the day. After hours of work, Fiona could not still get her device to open a portal straight back to her home in the Shattered Glass universe. After getting up with the sun on February 20, 2006, some coffee and breakfast, Fiona continued her work. Yet, over the past night, Scourge the Hedgehog had a premonition dream that was a nightmare to him. He saw me in my god's blue heart form descending from the sky above. I looked down upon him in great disappointment. He tried to attack me with weapons, but absolutely none of them hit, dented, or fazed me. He angrily growled and attempted to homing tackle me, but I dodged. The Scourge turned to ash and went with the winds. I prefer the ultimate miracle, and he sees every one of our earth halves undivided, loving, kind, and a more positive union and peace. Scourge woke up screaming, "Ah!" It woke Fiona at 5 a.m., but their Chaos Emerald was at full charge again. I kind of feel like it was like an oxymoronic statement. Well, still, they couldn't get the portal device to work, so the Chaos Emerald was not going to be that much help anyway. Yeah. After a little lunch at about 11:30 a.m., Fiona tries her portal device. "Well, here goes another attempt at going home," she says aloud as she activates her set device again. She does manage to make a direct portal back to the Shattered Glass universe. Scourge and Fiona fist bump, but in that moment, a familiar dark purple male Sonichu with brown stripes, red cheeks, black and white running shoes, and one eye blue, the other green, with a scar over it. He could still see through both of eyes. And actually sometimes those eye colors were different. Like they actually alternatively were left eye orange, right eye red. So there you go, there's that. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. He can still see through both eyes. Fiona and Scourge are surprised as Scourge lets out, "Oh shit!" The frowning Sonichu grins and with a gravely high-pitched with bass voice as the portal behind him closes. "I foreknew you would open that portal, and I have a plan that involves the two of you." Showing off a thunderbolt mid-form in his right hand to successfully intimidate them both, he says, "You both understand?" Scourge and Fiona nod. The Sonichu sees and confirms the glowing Chaos Emerald. "Good. Let's talk and set up shop," he tells them. Meanwhile, the number of dimensional tears in the sky above worldwide greatly increase. In late November or December 2006, on the C197 half in Solana, Italy, Princess Elise cries after Mephiles kills Sonic the Hedgehog, and the flames of Solaris are released. The universe and Earth begin to fracture, with bits and pieces of past, future, and same timeline alternate universes are revealed. This is also very evident in 2021 as SNT and Rookie fight N641 First Sonichu after collecting and recharging all 7 Chaos Crystal Balls on the segregated island off of Italy. Fractured dimensions and all realities are shown in the bits and pieces of the tears. Sometime after Christmas Day 2022, with Badger Chan, Sonichu Prime, and Cruzel Roshu Prime by my side, I look out and see more of the C197 half of the Earth above the 1218 half here, as do everyone else of the 1218 half. A high volume of charged Zapfub flowers bloom worldwide on both halves of our undividing Earth, as well as a moderate number of psychic power emitting third eye zinnias. "Now, my beloved," Master Chan tells me, "we can get you, all of you, to Quickville, and you may begin really saving our whole Earth." I respond with determination to restore order as the dimensional tears in the sky and around are very visible, with I and everyone all of you included. Indeed so, my love. Just as the prophecy foretold long ago. My body and I have been waiting and raring to do this. Grizel forced me.
I'm gonna ship at past 6, Christy.
I respond, excellent work, my love. Thank you. I then turned to Christian Chandler of the C-197 half from October 2006. I have great faith and trust in you holding that fort, my present home, and maintaining my place in my stead. Chris responds with good devotion to duty. You can count on me all the way, Christ Chad Prime. I give her a firm hug with blessings and love. Thank you, Christine. And that's obviously, Christine Chan as opposed to be Christian Chan, but yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway. Magic Chad, Grizel, and I teleport in our path to Quickville and getting my body prepared and used to the tangible physical guise, Blue Heart, and Sonichu forms we can now transform into. Before Sonic's resurrection, with the help of the Orange Chaos Crystal Ball, the 7 Chaos Emeralds, and his friends, Sonic finds me in my guise Sonichu Blue Heart form amidst the all-white space of the 1C211987's universe core. Are you God? Sonic asked me. I looked at him with a humble smile and nod as I closed my copy of Sonichu Book Number 10 and tuck it away into my magic statue. Sonic the Hedgehog, my longtime hero and Destiny's synchronized friend. Among my duties divine, I have waited for this moment to guide you. Sonic lets me over, recognizes me. Well, so it is true. Jesus Christ, the Western Chandler Sonichu Prime, God of Gods. Sonic smiles. Hey, thanks for the note and Crystal Ball back in February. Tails had a lot of fun analyzing it, and that ultimate portal device. One of his proudest achievements and successes. As it should very well be, I tell Sonic with a grateful nod. Now, Sonic, after you are resurrected, you shall see to rewriting history and drastically shift our prime timeline. In that, completing the first half of the Dimension Merge. The effects of your resurrection is permanent. You shall be God-level immortal, period. Forever. After the shift, your recollection of the events in Solana will be altered, but not totally forgotten. The memories will remain in your unconsciousness and your backup memories in the cosmos and Akashic records. Plus, if you want the reminder from playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 on PlayStation 3, if you want the reminder from playing the Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 on PlayStation 3 is an option. The Xbox 360 version has worse glitches in it. Anyway, I shall continue to do my part in guiding you, but remember this well, Sonic Hedgehog. Keep faithful and constantly mindful of everything and everyone. Never miss a sign or cue among the continued events and adventures you shall experience. Do good and light power righteousness, for you are good and you are blessed. The return portal opens for Sonic right behind him. Sonic observes and says to me, I guess our time is up for now, but thank you, Christ Chad Prime. I shall never forget your guidance and kindness. I nod and smile. Do your best to be safe and well, Sonic. I will meet you again. Farewell. Sonic gives me a casual salute that tells me, see you later. Then he takes the portal back to his body and is resurrected. That's okay. Okay. Let's see. Last night from today, some of the think tank individuals from 2022 and years after back on February 20, 2006, with metaphysical rights and help from the Psychic Squadron, observed the workings of the psychic links with everything and so on, with a peek into the alpha omega point of all existence. My astral manifested works and my body and brain's dreams from their better plans and chroniclings of my prophesized legal escape from jail and return to my house, the Sonichu Temple. Here on our undivided merging earth. Jerusalem, Israel, 5:45 p.m. Tuesday, February 28, 2006, Ellen Roche's house. After waking from his visionary dream, Chris Chan Sonichu gave a brief synopsis of what he had seen and experienced with me in my life on the 12-18 half of the earth from 2006 to beyond 2022, after the completion of the Dimension Merge and the tangibility of the vision. He saw Doopie and remembered she had been shot earlier that day. He was relieved Helen was able to heal her. Corselia told Chris of when he went into cosmic form, turning Eggman's jet inside out, kicked it into space, and scared Eggman away. Chris recollected the shock of fighting and winning against the darkness within him after seeing Doopie shot. Chris returned to his human form. They all talked a while longer, had a dinner. Then at 5:45 p.m., Majik teleported herself, Chris, Crystalia, Doopie, S&T, and Christine back to Quickville after bidding farewell to Helen and thanking her for her kindness. Meanwhile, in Quickville, Virginia, after the battle with Giovanni, Sonichu, Rosie, Roberta, Sarah, Sonichu, and Rosa went back to Sonichu's house. Magic Chan Sonichu Prime had told them Bubbles, Angelica, and the others with Princess Sally would be over there in a short while. Short enough, Bubbles, Angelica, Wild, Punchy, Donnie, and Sally showed up for the meet and visit. Sandy Rosechew also showed up. They all talked a while. Sonichu and Rosie were very honored to meet and talk with Sally. Roberta, Sarah, and Sandy were surprised to see Donnie. The four of them talked together at their events. Then at 10:45 a.m. in the spacious living room, Majik, Chris, Crystalia, Christine, Doopie, and S&T teleported in. Majik nodded, then teleported herself out for a short while. Roberta, Sarah, and Christine cheered and hugged each other in the moment. Roberta with Sarah bring Christine Rosechew to Sancho and Rosie. Roberta said to them, "Mom, Dad, this is our sister and your daughter, Christine Rosechew." Christine blushes, knowing in the moment she was meeting her mom and dad's past self. She smiled and humbly curtsied. "Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom." Sonichu was... Sonichu... Wait. Boy. I think I meant to say Sonichu and Rosie were pleased. I was like, Sonichu weren't pleased? No, Sonichu and Rosie were pleased and surprised to meet her. "Hi, Christine," Sonichu says to her. Rosie is wide-eyed. "Oh, my Grace Chan! You're beautiful, Christine!" "Thanks, Mom. Thank you, Mom," she responds. Sonichu turns to Rosie and exclaims, "We give birth to a shiny Rosechew!" Rosie responds, "I can see that. I'm as smooth as you are." Sonichu and Rosie hug Christine. Chris introduces Doopie and S&T to everyone and mentions their bravery, and they mentioned a bit about their enlightening experiences. When S&T was introduced to Sonichu Prime, Sonichu remembered N641, Sonichu's last request. Sonichu tells her, "I am glad to meet you, S&T." S&T responds, "Well, we meet in the future too, but I'm glad to meet you too, Sonichu and Rosie." Sonichu asks her, "Do you know someone named Courtney?" S&T is a bit aghast. He asked her about Courtney. "Yeah, she's my creator and chronicler from the 1218 half of the earth." "Why?" Sonichu takes a deep breath. Well, while Rosie and I were in New York, S&T! A familiar woman's voice calls to her. S&T turns to find Courtney next to Majik, who had just teleported her from the Psychic Squadron base after the earlier meeting. "Courtney?" S&T responds. Courtney runs up to S&T and hugs her. S&T hugs her back. While S&T and Courtney were hugging, Magic-chan asked Chris to follow him to the hallway. Sonichu and Rosie smile at the tender reunion, as do everyone else in observation. S&T asks Courtney, "What are you doing here?" Courtney responds, "Well, for my half of the earth, I was taking a break from editing a video while talking with Saki about Cedron and our families with the recent events and spiritual happenings when a portal opens under me and I end up in Angelica's freaking church. Damn this thing! I've been living at Sonic and Tails Quickville house. Oh! Rookie and Saki are here too, safe from the island." "Rookie and Saki?" S&T asked with a smile and a breath of relief. "Oh, thank goodness! I've been wondering what happened to them. They're safe at Tails' house. Yay!" S&T cheers and her horror glows, causing everyone but Chris to blush. Oh. Well, at least Chris isn't blushing, Courtney comments. "But all of you, stop it! 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 Stop it!" Yeah, she pretty much had that same response when she was reading S&T versus Sonichu with the blushes there. You know, that blush. Anyway. Most everyone comes back to, including Sonichu and Rosie. Sonichu and Rosie come with a special as well. They both turn back. Oh wait. SNT remembers she was talking with Sonichu.
Oh, Courtney, Sonichu was about to tell me something after asking about you.
Oh? Courtney asked. They both turned back to Sonichu. What's up? Courtney asked him. Sonichu recalls his thought. Well, when Rosie and I were in New York yesterday looking for a chaos crystal ball, we met. In addition to Sonichu, Rawson, Majik, Grand Elder Magichan, Sonica, and Telescope, we encountered in the battle a Magichan and the first Sonichu of Universe N641 that had become a lost universe. It was an overwhelming battle, fighting against a lost, evil version of myself from another universe. Anyway, before dying and turning to ash, he mentioned to both of you, Courtney and SNT. His last request was, when I met you, I tell you, he was sorry he had thought wrongly of you. I guess you have running out with him or something. S&T remembers. Flashback to after Palkia sent S&T to universe N641211987's Earth. S&T had just defended herself against the wild Pikachu encounter. The first Sonichu was shocked and offended. What'd you hurt him for? He asked. S&T responded.
That friend attacked me first.
Sonichu told her, well, it's not nice to see someone hurt a Pikachu, especially since I used to be one.
Pikachu? What happened? Since when did hedgehogs start dating mouses?
Then she remembered the electrifying battle between her and him during that time. And she remembered the second trip there, fighting Quickfield Segregate, making friends with the first Rosie Roseshoe there, after the abuse of her first Sonichu and her self-identity issues and battles with the Sonichu and Magichan there. And just recently with her fight against N641 Sonichu on that island. Then she pictures him dying at Sonichu Prime's feet after a battle, seeing light, making his last request, then turning to ash. S&T was awed with emotion, with tears starting in her eyes, and a sniffle. She asked,
That Sonichu is dead?
Sonichu Prime and Rosie Roshu Prime nod with empathetic concerns on their faces and sorrow. S&T turns to Courtney.
Courtney, that evil misguided Sonichu is dead, and his disgrace was an apology to you and me.
Yes, Courtney hugged S&T in the emotional moment. Roberta runs and returns with a box filled with tissues for S&T. Courtney sat on the sofa with S&T after receiving the tissues and thanking her. Christy puts a small trash can by S&T. S&T cried into the tissues, blew her nose, and trashed the used tissues. Courtney consoled her during the process. Doopie was in the kitchen when S&T started crying. She pulled a clean glass out of the cabinet and filled it with cool, filtered water. She poured out a second clean glass and filled that too. Doopie took the 2 glasses of water to Courtney and S&T. Courtney thanked Doopie. There you go. Danielle, you met Courtney. Courtney, you met Daniel. Maybe that's a convention crossover if you want to go with that. Whatever. But now, this happened back in 2006. S&T soon collected herself and drank some water. Everyone gives S&T and Courtney their space. Earlier that day, you know what? I am just gonna go with that. Just go ahead and oh wait, never mind. We're good. We'll just cut this tarp out and do the countdown again. 3, 2, 1. Boy, this is gonna be a compilation. Earlier that day, at about 7:28 a.m., just outside Quickfield's north city limits, Giovanni finally injects himself with the provided full heal and recovers from paralysis. Giovanni found and recalled his team of fated alive Pokemon into their Pokeballs on his belt. All of his troops had left for the base over 5 minutes prior. Giovanni found his truck had turned over onto the one side. His phone was in there. He climbed up in the truck, got in, and found his phone. It was smashed, and forget about using the comm radio in that truck. Giovanni started walking back to base. Nobody was picking up that hitchhiker that day. After about an hour, he wandered upon a driver and found an unlocked car out back. He recalled his street smarts and hot-wired the car to life. With the tank of gas at half full, he drove off as far as he could. The car conked out an hour later. How much gas was in that car? After about 3 hours on foot, he made it back to the Team Rocket base. At least he kept his key card in his back pocket. He entered at 12:30 p.m. A grunt walks by and sees Giovanni. In a haste, the grunt salutes. Welcome back, sir. Giovanni hands the grunt his belt with Pokeballs. Here, Giovanni commands him. Heal my Pokemon. Right away, sir. The grunt rushes to the base's healing console. Giovanni trudges to his office. Gibby was feeding Giovanni's Persian when he entered with a frown worse than Donald Trump's worst frown, I dare say. Gibby stood to attention. Giovanni located his personal toiletries in the desk drawer. Giovanni asked Gibby, What's the update? What's the update on the game cartridge? Gibby tells him, The grunt said to collect the computer in an hour. Giovanni mods? Wait, what? Oh, Giovanni nods. Looks like I wrote that with an M. Anyway. Good. I'm off for a bath. Good work minding my Persian. He slams the door on the way out. Meanwhile, in that lone, still Commodore 64 breakout cartridge, Liquid Chris Sonichu was on level, get this big number, 149,269,181,698,002. After playing a monotonous game for 1,092 years, 8 months, and 27 days within that game cartridge's time. At 1 o'clock p.m. on a mountaintop at one edge of the city of Quickville, Scourge and Fiona placed the last bots with the device in it. Scourge groans from lugging the near 100-pound bots. Scourge complains to Fiona, how come Crass makes us do the heavy work while he sits and twiddles his thumbs with our Chaos Emerald? Fiona reminds him for the last time,
Well, babe, Christian found his way to us from our home universe. He brought over the 4 darkness orbs and 4 of his sorcery enchanted amplifiers and his blueprints for these things. Not to mention combing all of game industry for the magic correct parts and lead boxes to assemble the damn things. And as he told us, we'll cover all Quickville from all 4 corners in darkness and blind the psychics and claim Mac Chan's goody counterpart. And with his counterparts psychically blinded too, he'll beat Christian Chandler Sonichu up and take over the city. He'll beat Christian Chandler Sonichu up and take over the city as leader. Scourge asks, still, why lead boxes? To keep the psychics from peeking through to look at the goods. Now, let's cut the lights,
Fiona says with a snarling grin.
Shame this'll last only 3 hours, but that's more than enough.
Magichan Prime gets the intuition 1 minute ahead of time and telepathically alerts all psychic types to use Miracle Eye and all Sonichus, Roshius, Botanics, Necrozes, Sonics, and Rosies, and able Pokemon to use Flash at the instant. Fiona presses the button, and all 4 boxes at each corner of Quickville open, and the darkness looms all over the city of Quickville. All the psychic types had already used Miracle Eye by then, and the Pokemon used Flash to light it up with the city's lights cutting on all over. But still, the darkness put the shades really down. Scourge and Fiona dash on to make chaos. The Gardevoir and Fairy types also used fairy terrain all over the city of Quickville to dispel the dark. Before this, Doopie, SNT, Courtney, and Crystalia had teleported to Tails' house. SNT was enthralled with Rookie and Saki to be together again. Chris had told them, along with Sonichu, Rosie, and Punchy, to hold on to their Chaos Gems and be ready at any time for at least one of them to call, and used all 8 Chaos Crystal Balls. Yeah, actually I wrote here, Use at least all 7 Chaos Crystal Balls and maybe the orange Chaos Emerald. Oh yeah, that's right. I guess I might have been on those plans. Right? Anyway, Chris stayed until after they left to teleport himself to the ball at 12:30 p.m. to personally check in with Allison. A certain scar-eyed human was lurking. Chris gave Allison as much of the story as possible in the office. Allison was glad to have Chris back safe. Chris got Magic Chance warning, then used Miracle Eye. Chris excused himself out of the office, stood by the office's entrance, and told him, "Come on out. I know you're here." The lurking individual stepped into the light before Chris. He wore a torn red, white, and blue Ralph Lauren polo shirt with a white t-shirt with tears on it underneath. Torn blue jeans, black and white running shoes, had short, shaggy brown hair, left eye blue, right eye green with a scar over it. Other than that, his face matched Chris's face. And he wore a Sonichu medallion, except the painted expression was with frowning eyebrows and a sneering grin. The two faced each other. He said, Hello, Chris-chan, with a sneer. Then, in an instant, the darkness loomed into the lit mall through the ceiling windows. Chris used flash. The guy's plan worked some, but it only hindered the lower rank 3 and under and level psychic. Lower rank 3, level 3 and under. Lower rank and level 3 and under Psychic Squadron and Psychic Pokemon. Chris responded, Hello yourself, my self-counterpart from an alternate universe. Perhaps you would like to take this outside? He responded, Please, at least call me Chris, Chris told him. Well, for the audience at home reading this, you ought to be called Shattered. Shattered, Chris retorts. Oh, fancy demigod showing concern through the fourth wall, Chris responds. As foreseen, I take it you intend to best me? That's right. Bravo for you! Paying attention to class! Meanwhile, as the levels of darkness and light level out in the city, Fiona used her portal device to lure in some evil Sonichus and Roshus from the Shattered Glass universe. A number of non-psychic types entered, but at the same time, the rank 4s and 5s, including Flamever, the Magichants who were visiting to help, Perceptor and Nightstar took defenses to counter. The rank 1s, 2, and 3s Psychic Squadron, Sonichus and Roshus were overwhelmed. KP and Rachel looked outside to see the chaos. KP was about to pop open a can of bonk when Rachel pulled it away from her. KP asked, What gives? Rachel responds, Even if you and I fueled up, we can't attack the incoming Sonichus while in the zone. Then what? We'd be slow-mos right for the picking. You want to get hit with a super effective Photoshop flying type? Yeah, Rachel calling KP out on the Pegasus weakness. KP groans a bit. We ought to at least tempt Silver to go out there, Silver Quill quips. Oh, ain't no way I'm going out there, even with the respawn generator. I'm not going to become Tor-checked. Sonichu, Rosie, and our group had stepped out to see the problem. Roberta and her level group think in recalling the history. The hours of darkness, Sandy Rosechew chimes as Sapina Rosechew shines her light right over at least some of the city. Sandy continues as everyone listens. Quickville fell into darkness with shattered invaders coming in with increased tears in the skies. 2 Christians fight for supremacy. Light shall win by the end. And a light power from above the darkness shines over a part of the city that is protected by Christ-chan and reveals the location of a key cartridge that can summon her here in our darkest hour. Getting the continuity nods and details here. Sandy thinks. Maybe. Our Christian shall win. The time of order restoration is not here yet, Sonichu Prime recalls his prophetic dream. Just as the prophecy foretold, Sonichu says. Okay. Sandy and everyone looks to Sonichu. I had a dream revealing this. Wait, no, I'm sorry, wrong character. I've had a dream revealing this, Sonichu says. A literal game cartridge will appear for a console of Christ-chan Prime. One of us finds that cartridge, keep it safe, and bring it back here. Meanwhile, let's defend our city from the invaders. Zapping it up to the extreme! And just zapping it up. I wrote zapping it up here. Sonichu sees an incoming shattered glass Sonichu. He dashes to them and gut checks them with a sky uppercut. Rosie adds,
Let's at least defend this area.
Everyone nods and starts to disperse. But before Roberta, Sarah, Christine, and Donnie could go anywhere, with them as witnesses, Sandy sees a wholly single light beaming down at an educationally set locale. You'll get that pun in a moment. As Sandy had extensively studied the entire Quickville layout and all measurements of distance and perspective with help from Simona, Zapina, and Wild over the years, she had pinpointed the exact location for the distance. And I like this part right here, just like this. Sandy gasps, points to light, and says out loud,
I know what it is!
Then dashes off. Donnie starts running after her. Sandy, wait! Donnie catches up and shoots a surf attack at a crowd of shattered glass Sanchus and rose shoes in front of them. I've got your back, Donnie tells Sandy.
Thanks, Donnie,
Sandy replies as they dash down the streets. Sandy focuses her earth bending to upturn isolated chugs under targeted shattered glass Sanchus and rose shoes in their path. Donnie shot at targeted SG Sanchus and rose shoes with aqua jet shots. Back at the house, Roberta says to Sarah Christine,
Well, girls, how about we dash to the skies and take down target enemies from above?
I'm game, Christine says. Count me in, Sarah says. The three of them make clouds under their feet. Cloud step. This is a Pokemon technique I figured out. With electricity, they can literally float down to their soles and their feet and make like rain clouds underneath them. So cloud step. It very much gives them levitate also. So just maybe that's a thought for Pokemon Lightning Bolt, Diva Pink, and Barry Charge Move video game. Because it's there. It's fat. So there. Cloud step, what was I? The three of them make clouds under their feet to take to the sky ground. Sonic, Amy, Sally, Rookie, SNT, and Sonic. Excuse me. One short.
It a fake it second. I me. If we stepped it. Me.
Okay. Sonic, Amy, Sally, Rookie, SNT, and Sonica took to the streets to defend. Doopie and Courtney talked on the recent events between the Think Tank collab and adventures in game industry and Israel. Tails, Tesco, and Nicole work on finishing the ultimate portal. Just a few details. Also, Chai-Chan Sonichu had gifted Tails with a full Neo Commodore 64 computer set that Tails had set up and was able to integrate with his work. Sonic ends up introducing Scourge the Hedgehog to Sonichu Prime in an encounter. They work together to take down Scourge. Amy and Sally find Fiona and take her down together in relieving her of the portal device and closing most of the portals, the dark portals that she opened with her device. At the mall, with Allison remaining secured in the office, the two Christians in their human forms quipped and stared each other down, while Chris psychically analyzes SG Chris with his miracle eye active. SG Christian Sonichu is an electric dark type, with an expertise in dark magic and sorcery arts, with his choice being a titanium bow staff, with switchblades on each end. Chris can also see what SG Chris lacks that he has. Chris dashes and grabs SG Chris and teleports the both of them to the outer edges of Quickville's park. SG Chris pushes Chris away and pulls out his staff. Chris puts up a lightning blade and shield and quickly summons a psychic terrain to even the special. The two go at each other in weapon combat on equal skill levels and strengths. Chris' sword and shield defend very well against his staff and its blades. Chris dodges SG Chris's darkest magic attack, while Chris bends the multiple elements, including holy light power and fairy type, to counter his foe. After a while, SG Chris decides to up the odds. Let's make this more fun, shall we? He pounds his heavy-duty rock-solid medallion and shouts, Electric Hedgehog Power! Then in a flash of darkness, transforms into his dark purple fur-colored Sonichu form. Fine by me, Chris responds with his sword hand over his medallion shine. Electric Hedgehog Power! Then, in a flash of light, transforms into his Sonichu form. His blue fur-colored Sonichu form. They continue in physical, mental, and elemental attacks and defenses against each other. A big dark portal starts to form over Quickbill. Within the God Realm, my body and I trained hard over 4 months there, equal to about 3 Earth days in my CPU God's blue heart form and Sonichu form on all skills, powers, and abilities, including combat with my pair of katana blades and aerial skills and acrobatics. It is intense, extensive, and massively great. Sandy and Donnie make it to their destination that does not have any shattered glass individuals attacking it yet. Donnie makes the obvious comment. Piedmont Virginia Community College? Yes, the Quickfield branch of PVCC. Sandy tells him as they search, well, Christian probably got her degree and certificate in computer aided drafting and design and computer aided automated motion at PVCC in Charlottesville on the 1218 half, plus Donatello, Commodore 64 computers. Donnie quickly pieces it together. There it is! Sandy finds the lone game cartridge on the sofa in the center lounge. Sandy collects it and she and Donnie look it over. It's a Commodore 64 game cartridge titled Blue Sky, with the art featuring me and my God's blue heart form fighting jets that look like demons and devils in the sky. They both nod as Sandy stores the cartridge in her shell. They start back to Sonichu and Rosie's house when an incoming, arrogant, shattered-glass Sonichus and Rosechus quickly approach them. With a war cry, Sandy upturns Earth in one direction, Donnie surfs the other direction. Then they make their way back with air support from Roberta. Then Trouble tackles Roberta as Angelica Rosechu's shattered glass counterpart, Davina Rosechu, flies into Roberta. Yeah, I think you can pretty much piece that together. And just shame on all of you, the individuals that want to defile and downgrade and just essentially corrupt Angelica Rosechu at all, period. The prime Angelica Rosechu is not corrupted at all, though she does have greater strength from the motivation. Anyway, Roberta quickly recovers by forming fresh clouds and fending off Davina. There's nothing holy about Davina Rosechu. Sarah runs in and clips Davina's wings in the effort. Davina catches herself in a fumbled glide to the ground, intercepted by a rank 5 Psychic Squadron Sonichu, and teleported into one portal remaining back to the shattered glass universe. So yeah, sent Davina flying back there. After Sonic and Sonichu take down Scourge, forcing him to give up and flee, Sonic and Sonichu look up to find a growing dark portal well above the city. Sandy and Donnie find Sonichu and Sonic. Sonichu! Sandy shouts. Sonichu and Sonic see them coming. Sandy! Donnie! Sonichu responds. Sandy tells them, I found the cartridge! Now we need a Commodore 64 to put it in and boot it up! Sonichu thinks within a pause moment. Ronaldo has a Commodore 64, but how is the electricity there? Tails has one, but it's dedicated to the portal device. Chris told me in Planet Neptune's Basilicom, Netgear is using Chris's C64 console, but that's far from Virginia. Yet I have the kiosk crystal ball. So yeah, he had 3 choices. Sonichu gets divine guidance and makes his choice. Sonichu says aloud, I have faith in the light-powered dream that guides me. He pulls out the purple chaos crystal ball. Gather around me, he tells Sandy and Donnie. They each get close to Sonichu Prime. Sonichu tells him, hey, good luck. Sonic tells them, the 3 of them, hey, good luck. I'll keep up the fight around here. Sonichu smiles. Thank you, Sonic. Sonichu holds up the chaos crystal ball and with focused eyes shouts, Chaos Control! Sonichu, Sandy, and Donnie teleport in a flash to inside the Iglesias house just as Ronaldo finishes a level in Duke Nukem 3D on his Commodore 64 computer. Commodore 64 Ultimate Computer. Ronaldo turns to see three of them. Hey, Sonichu, my man, ¿qué pasa? What trouble is outside today? Sonichu responds, Muy bien, Ronaldo. Listen, we have an urgent request. Sonichu looks at Sandy and nods. Sandy pulls out the holy cartridge out and presents it to Ronaldo. We need you to put up this cartridge immediately for Christ Chant Prime. Ronaldo takes the cartridge, looks it over, and sees the holy glow from the art and title. You got it. I've beat Duke Nukem 3D twice already. Ronaldo shuts the console off, removes the Duke Nukem cartridge, and inserts my Blue Sky cartridge fully. He turns the console on, and with a run command prompt on display on the monitor, the enter key is pressed, and I am summoned. I look out the monitor from in front of the game's title screen. In pixel red glory with my 4-month God Realm training regimen completed and see Ronaldo, Sonichu Prime, Sandy Roshu, and Donnie Sonichu. I tell them, hey son, hey y'all. I thank you all back in 2006 for your faith in me and the future. Be safe, well, kind, good, blessed, and do your best. I take to the power lines of Wi-Fi and make my way to 2 destinations. First, I call Netgear's comm device as she nears a crucial part on Scarlet's cartridge with Histoire nearby her. Netgear answers and sees me on video. I tell her, hey Netgear, hey Histoire. It is I, Jesus Christ, the Western Channel Sonichu Prime. Netgear gasps in surprise. She tells me,
Christine, it's so good to meet you. I was reading about you from Scarlet's Prophecy with Histoire here.
I tell them, I am gratefully aware, kind friends, and as you may be reading it once again, it is now manifested. My physical relocation with my personal property from jail, my physical training as a goddess, and now my game cartridge has been booted up. I'll be saving the world from the dragon of Russia now and getting the divisions removed. I shall come visit y'all soon enough. Be safe, well, and blessed, all of you. And thank you, Nepgear and Histoire. I end the call. Nepgear rushes to tell Neptune and the others. On her monitor, there is a pencil rendition of I fighting a large red dragon in disguise. Maybe make something reminiscent of Kawoki, what Kawokipo drew once upon a time. Then, as Tailsco and Nicole put a finishing touch on the ultimate portal device to get ready, Nicole receives a blessed download from me that transmits into Tails' scanner. Tails and Tailsco are stunned at seeing the commands being inputted into the device in his hands without either of them entering anything. The scanner is aimed outside his workshop through the open garage door. The scanner emits a focused beam that manifests a portal. I, in my God's blue heart form, physically step out of the portal, and I am tangible with them. The portal closes behind me. I look to the 3 of them in kind appreciation. Tails, Tailsco, Nicole, I thank you all very much for helping me in my physical transition and work. In that moment, Sonica approaches and sees me. Christ Chant Prime! Sonica, Tailsco, and Nicole say in unison. Tails is in awe and wonder in seeing me. He puts the scanner down and approaches me. He asks to see my hand. I show him my right hand's palm. He is amazed at the scar and glowing crosses in it. God? He asks. I nod. Then to look up to see the red dragon's nose poking out of the dark portal in the skies. I don't have time to lose. I must vanquish that dragon. I take flight up to the sky at Mach speed. I don my katana blades as the dragon pokes his face out to see me. That's far enough, Akon. Or as it just, that's far enough, Akon, I shout at him. Ah, Christy. Long time no see, since before I had been banished to that distant universe over what feels like eons of time. Yet in 2022, your country and the 1218 have torments the entire world with Putin's war on Ukraine. That ends this day, Akon, with your vanquishment and Vladimir Putin simultaneously. I get into my focus with ultimate emerald core in my body. I'll mention this as well. I had actually continued this page, and then I just really did not feel so. I felt like I just ended too quickly, and it just felt wrong. It did not feel light power after I finished it. So, yeah, I pretty much just scratched a lot of it out. So I definitely just like to press a mess undo and a button on that, and just rewind time at that point. Yeah, I give you a rewind sound effect just for the heck of it. Anyway, then it's definitely resumed on the next page, which is the following day I wrote this. Okay, I was just reading a little comic strip at the bottom of this one. In the skies above the darkness-covered city of Quickville, I ready my first attack in God's blue heart form to counter the invading former human Russian billionaire Akan, who is now a giant red dragon, presently sticking his head through the dark portal over Quickville. I hit pause for a moment to personally address you all, the readers and viewers, and definitely in response to what I just mentioned. Now, I could essentially one-hit KO Akan right here and now, and on initial, shall we say, first draft, I actually did, but it felt empty. And it definitely was not spiritually satisfying. It felt spiritually unsatisfying. I felt like I slammed myself into a brick wall metaphorically. I reset and meditated on it. Sonichu Prime shouts up to me from Ronaldo's house, "Hey, Mama! Please don't take too long with this pause!" I tell him, "Well, my son, I had made a great mistake and had to back it up with an undo. I feel it essential to educate everyone a bit on the lost detail and why it was wrong." Sonichu Prime shouts up to me, "Okay, I understand. Just not too long, please." I tell him, of course. Anyway, I resume addressing you, the audience. I've reset and meditated on it. I went against my divine plan and premonitions in the mistake. The whole dragon gets vanquished, not just the head. And I violated one of my own guidelines from the guide's training and so forth. In regards to the action and fighting, there shall be no gore and very mild amounts of blood. I had dumbly made it rain. Just not cool, not okay, not light powered. It was murder, and that is seriously not my main objective, not my MO or thing. And if you read Awakening of a CPU, you know some of the beef between Akan and I. But yeah, I had done epic run, I hit undo, and now I'm making it right and so. Thank you. Even gods and goddesses adhere to our own rules. And they do make their mistakes as well. I unpause the present events. I get into my focus that does not require too much time within the ultimate innermost core of my body. I hit Akan in the face with a chaos-controlled Commodore Shocker blade attack, putting a good dent in his HP, forcing him to pull his head out of the portal. I fly in. Akan shakes his one head on his long trail body like a dragon in China, the country of China. He sneers and growls at me. I use double team, astral manifesting many tangible copies of myself. I apport myself with one that was behind his head as he tries to take a bite of me and misses. I fly onto the top of his head, face the back of his neck with both my swords, dug into his scales with infused electricity in the blades, and I run down his neck to his shoulders, dragging my swords down the length within seconds, and pour the swords out and teleport off. Akan lets out my guy yowling, "Ah!" with the scarring parallel trails on his neck. He claw swipes and shoots flames at me and my doubles, but I dodge the attacks. He tries to psychically manipulate me, but I remain grounded and immune to his deceptions and illusions. I hit him at the exposed weak points, and he attacks me with my various and elemental attacks. Wait a minute, I feel like that's just, that's not this. I hit him. Oh. As he attacks me, I hit him at the exposed weak points with my various elemental attacks. That makes more sense. But that's pretty much the intention of that sentence anyway. And with a light-powered, heavy-infused Commodore Shocker attack, I empty his HP and Akan is weakened but still alive. I opened a large portal to the realm of lava and brimstone. Then I telekinetically pick up Akan and put him into the lava and brimstone completely. Then I close the portal. I exit the portal below, returning to our Quick Virginia in 1C2-11987 universe on the C197.5 on February 28, 2006. The portal closed behind me, but the dimension tears remain. Only minutes have passed as the number of invading shattered glass Sonichus and Roshi's shrink in them, being all teleported to the lone remaining portal back to the shattered glass universe, rendered a one-way portal and telekinetically forced back through. Even Fiona and Scourge were both sent back. So there you go, they got back home, but Fiona don't have her portal device anymore. Light was surpassing the spanning darkness very brightly. The darkness from each box was also spreading into the north, east, south, and west directions. Everyone lit up well in all of those directions. I could destroy the 4 boxes with the darkness orbs, but it's not my place to do so. Those hours of darkness were a test for all in those directions. Plus, by the time I had arrived, almost a half hour had passed after Fiona the bot switched the boxes on. In that time, within the unlit spots, whoo boy, taking advantage of some of the events, demons were slipping in, making their moves with those spots, within those spots. And some of them found and possessed jet planes. So in addition to a con, I literally had to defend the blue skies, shine light, and dispel the demons and devils on land, air, and even sea. And I know who can help me out. But yeah, simply by destroying those 4 boxes would not have closed those open portals or vanquished the demons and devils. Plus another detail in a moment. Anywho, I've got my work cut out for me. As if all of these demons and devils from between 2020 and 2022 that are just about all of them vanquished right now. Whee! But yeah, cue the music. Open Your Heart by Crush 40 on repeat. Now just go ahead and play that just in the background for yourself as I read this next part. Open your heart, it's gonna be alright. Alright, between the two of them, Christian Sonichu and SG Christian Sonichu were still fighting, but SG Chris was tiring out by the first hour's end, and Chris was still with great light power and holy energy. Yeah, give up yet? Shark Glass Christian asked. Chris responds with a smile as a beam of light shines upon him from above. I could go on all day. Apparently you cannot. I tell them both from above, right you are, Chris. Right you are, Chris of our universe here. SG Chris recognizes my voice. I know that voice. I teleport behind SG Chris and hold him in place telekinetically. I summon his distant staff into my empty hand and sheath the blades. God damn! SG Chris starts to slay. Prime! I open a portal underneath SG Chris back to the Shark Glass universe, aimed over Russia there, and considering the moral opposition an appropriate choice. I first drop his staff into the portal, then I relieve SG Chris of the bluish-purple chaos arrow. I'll be back to get you! He starts to say as I release him into the portal. Boom! I'll be back to get you, boom! I close that portal. Chris smiles thankfully as he watches. I open another portal over the land of Neptune, the planet, in the Shark Glass universe, and drop the Chaos Arrow into the planet's waters, then close the portal. Welcome back, Christine, Chris tells me with a smile and a hug. Thank you, I tell him firm as I put a cleansing light in and on the local psychic types, all of them. The rank 1, 2, and 3s and low level ones are no longer disabled. I use God voice to tell everyone to say, Sonichus, Rosechus, Metallics, and Process, and everyone in the think tank. Demons and devils are now running about due to this darkness over this part of Virginia and begin to spread around the earth. I will need all of you to help me in targeting and vanquishing them. Second Squadron and Magic Chat Sonichus, I ask all of you please to immediately organize and disperse the land, sky, and ocean teams. Everyone remain cautious and not crossing through any dimension tears. If you are in doubt, pray to me and let my light confirm your location between the 1218 and C197 halves of timeline 211. I got confused with this sentence. Between the 1218 and C197, I'm going to start the sentence again. If you're in doubt, pray to me and let my light confirm your location between the 1218 and C197 halves of February 28, 2006 and January 1st, 2023. And afterwards, remain here on February 28, 2006. C197 half 1C timeline 211987 universe, aka the prime timeline and universe as you are able. Return if not here. Outside of that, I require everyone of the A to have gone outside Quickville and collected a Chaos Gem recently. Plus, Roberta Sonichu and Sarah Rosechu to meet Chris and I at Tails' house here in Quickville. Thank you all. Be blessed by my light-powered divine will. Everyone in Quickville hears me loud and clear. I return my voice volume to normal. Then to Chris, I tell him, "Let's teleport to Tails' house." Right, and I am truly honored and humbled to work with you today. I smile and nod. And I with you as well, my central self counterparts. Let's see when I wish you, my central self counterpart of the scene when I soon have and pass, and more importantly, friend. Chris smiles. He and I teleport to Tails' house here. Magic Chan Sonichu Prime with the Second Squadron, including Night Star Sonichu and Perceptor Sonichu, quickly get their foreknown plan for this event in order and organize a call out worldwide between the Earth's both halves in 2006 and the Second Squadron on December 27, 2022 on both the undivided whole Earth half simultaneously do the exact same for the very similar event happening today and now at the point I wrote this. The flying capable Sonichus, Roshus, and Vaproses take to the skies. The water and ice type Sonichus and Roshus, including Bubbles, Roshu, and Ice Sonichu, take to the ocean and seas. And the remaining Sonichus, Roshus, and Batonics on land. The specials and the regulars hit the flash and take the lands. All of them set on vanquishing all the demons and devils possible and exorcising the possessed as possible. After arriving at Tails' house, as Sonichu, Rosie, Roberta, Sarah, Christine, and Punchy approach our location, I asked Tails to run in and bring Doopie and SNT out to us. Doopie and SNT join us in the driveway with Courtney behind them to witness. Sonic, Tails, and the others come out to listen in as well. I address Sonic. Sonic, your present past sees you at work elsewhere. What does your Chaos Crystal Ball tell you? Sonic pulls out his orange Chaos Crystal Ball and thinks, recalling his recent premonition dreams and the present events. Sonic tells Tails to get his scanner ultimate portal device. Get his scanner / ultimate portal device. Tails nods and gets it. He looks to Sonic up. Tails go rookie Sonic Amy. Will you join us? Sonic asks them. They all nod. They and Tails gather around Sonic. Sonic focuses on Russian soldiers and Ukraine that uses chaos control to teleport them all to Ukraine. They all make it and see Kyiv, Ukraine littered with dimensions and time tears in the sky and ground. Through the time tears, Rotomov, Sonichu, Blaze the Cat, and Silver the Hedgehog with a group of freedom fighters between both the 2006 and 2022 dates and so forth. Fight to take the Russian soldiers and Vladimir Putin and his evil cohorts down for good. Silver and Blaze see and recognize Sonic and his friends. They talk and brief each other of the situation. Blaze and Silver had collected all 7 soul emeralds, and even all the time stones as well. Sonic and his group joined the fray to down the Satan Vladimir Putin for good and save Ukraine in past, future, and futurist. Back to me and my group in Quickville. I get us 9 organized and set. I turn to Danielle and tell her, Danielle, between you and the rest of us, we will use the Chaos Crystal Balls to together to restore order between both Earth halves, past and future, in our prime timeline. In the prime timeline here, you will have a very special mission in comparison. After you've powered up, your spoken voice shall be heard all around the whole Earth. With your recent enlightenments and revelations, you will tell your story, and Courtney, you shall record it blessedly on your phone in its entirety. Danielle, your story and voice with the light power within you shall soothe and encourage faith, hope, and positivity to dispel lingering doubts, demons, and devils from within. All humans and creatures and individuals living that are good, neutral, light-powered, righteous, while depowering the toxic, evil, and darkest-sinning individuals. I have faith in you. Do not leave any detail out of your story. Inspired by my aura and faith and power, Doopie shows a determined smile and nods. I won't leave out a single syllable, Chris. And Courtney pulls out her phone, opening a voice recording app in readiness. I nod with a grateful smile. I next turn to Christine Rosechu, Roberta Sonichu, and Sarah Rosechu as SNT has a thought and removes her scrunchie, entrusting it to Christine's care once again. Christine ties the scrunchie to her right arm's bracelet. Sarah comments, Oh, wow, you're so lucky, sis. Christine smiles to Sarah. I tell the three of them, Christine, Roberta, Sarah, you three also have a unique mission. With Christine's orange chaos emerald, the three of you shall go super and run the skies and land together around all the earth in past and future, tying them together with your rainbow trails, then returning here to the C197 half on February 28, 2006. My strongest energy here shall confirm the location and guide you three back. Do not split up at all during this. Divine intuition and light power lights your safe path. Do not divert and stay with the flow that is good. Christine pulls out her orange chaos emerald and the three of them nod. You can count on us, Christine. Christine tells me. I smile and nod. As I turn to Chris, Crystalina, SNT, Sonichu, Rosie, and Punchy, I could hear and smile as Courtney hushedly tells Danielle, I still can't get over how Christine, the same one people online had mocked and laughed years ago from 2022, actually is God, and right now she's staying right here with us in tangible godliness. Courtney smiles in the moment. Danielle pulls out the clear chaos crystal ball and lightly taps Courtney's shoulder with it. But not a Pokeball. Taps her on the shoulder with it, but not a Pokeball. Danielle tells Courtney, Girl, it is real. I tell the others after getting out my orange chaos crystal ball for 2022 in my right hand. The rest of us, after going super, will directly vanquish up to all of the demons and devils here on Earth have today. The ones that could not be killed initially, anyway. February 28, 2006. Try to avoid all dimension and time tears. All of you. Chris, Crystalina, Sonichu, Rosie, SNT, and Punchy. Let my guiding light power help in maintaining all of you from leaving this Earth path on this day. And do not worry about maintaining ring count while powered up. The powers shall wear off after everything is restored to order while the merge events continue onward. Zapbud flowers and third eye zinnias have been blooming on both halves of both past future Earths here. They help in shining light worldwide and giving psychic and calming energies to everyone, not to mention stinging and repelling demons, devils, and evil ones. When this is over, the Earth halves of both past and future shall become unveiled and undivided permanently, and forever with the evils from the Earth vanquished, at least from the 12-18 half. Simply put, it shall be good. I hold my orange chaos crystal ball out and nod to my group at Doopie. Roberta, Sarah, and Christine, taking the hint, focus simultaneously on the orange chaos emerald. With a flash and glow, they go super and side by side take flight in undivided Earth halves into the merge completion with few tries with lingering rainbow trails behind them. Doopie steps forward and puts her clear chaos crystal ball next to mine. The two of them glow. Sonichu pulls out his purple chaos crystal ball, Rosie her cyan chaos crystal ball, Punchy his blue chaos crystal ball, Crystalina her yellow chaos crystal ball, SNT her green chaos crystal ball, and Christian his red chaos crystal ball. The six of them form a circle with Doopie and I at their respective chaos crystal balls in circle connection with all 8 glowing, as are the 8 of us with our focus and energies flowing through us. We all go super form. Doopie aside, the 7 of us take flight and dash. Courtney hits record on her fully charged phone, and Danielle tells her story of the recent events from start to finish. Everyone hears her clearly and loud. They are enlightened, cleansed, and inspired. Just as prophesized, past and future come together. The dimension merge fully completes. The 1C2-11987 Earth shall be whole with both the 1218 and C197 halves tangibly undivided. We 7 take to land, sky, and water, vanquishing all the walking and exercise demons and devils and closing the dark portals they were coming out of. In the way, it literally was like a sky and land and sea defense video game in any of the perspectives as we zapped, slashed, slammed, and dashed the demons and devils. In my path, I gave my ally gods, goddesses, and good superheroes a light-powered boost as well. Everyone did excellent in completing all of this together within the half-hour time or so. Meanwhile, on the 1218 half of Earth on Saturday, December 31st, 2022, on Branchline Court in Ruckersville, Virginia, Barbara was sitting on her bed and looking out the window of the Sonichu Temple. The Anders daughters on 15 Branchline Court was also looking out of her window. In the sky above, they see a bright rainbow suddenly manifested, flowing from southeast to northwest, created by the feet of Super Roberta Sonichu, Super Sarah Rosechu, and Super Christine Rosechu as they fly their path. Everyone in Ruckersville, Virginia was awed by that rainbow. I look out of my jail cell's window that day. From west to east, that same rainbow trail is manifested, and everyone here can see and feel it. The rainbow trails go around and around and around and around and around and around. Over Ukraine and Russia here, over Israel, over China and Japan, over Canada and Mexico, and so on, all around the world by everyone. This same rainbow links through the sky-high dimension and time tears, so that rainbow is seen and wrapping around both the C197 and 1218 halves of our 1C211987 Earth on February 28, 2006 and December 31st, 2022 specifically. Zoomed out as Doopie's story wows the Earth. I, Sonichu, Rosie, SNT, and everyone vanquished the demons, devils, and dark portals, and Roberta, Sarah, and Christine loop the Earth in this expansive chaos rainbow together like a Christmas present, and white light flashes around the rainbows and Earths. And then everyone and everything, including I, with the Earth, whole and undivided under us, are all physically alive, safe, and well, and tangibly together, except the toxic, evil, darkest-thing individuals of the 1218 half in all. Every single Sonichu, Rosechu, Pokemon superhero, Autobot, imported, equestrian, human, anthropological individuals, including anthropological animals, and furries, and so forth, and so on, from February 28, 2006, and as early as December 31st, 2022, and everything good and neutral and so on are all able to talk with each other and interact tangibly, face to face in person. But instead of the sky and universe above, it's all white space. Not a void, but the alpha omega point of all existence. Everyone else starts to question it, but everyone we saved is here. Sonichu Prime, Rosie Roshi Prime, Magic Chan Sonichu Prime, and everyone else. Sonic Super Mario, Sonica Sunshine, Iron Man, Volodymyr Zelensky, Alexa Painter, Greg Evans, Tiffany Coco, Olivia Newton-John, Aaron Fromm, Chris Starr, Prater, Luann de Groot, Jason David Frank, Barbara Ann Weston Chandler, Alexander Bielskis, Alexander Bielskis, right? Anna McLaren, Goku, Kusuo Saiki, Tsukino Usagi, Alina Pride, Flutter, Lighty Bliss, David Halberg, Cosmic Christine Keyframe, A&Y, Tara Strong, Ashley Ball, Ash Coyote, Superman, Gumball Warrison, Homer Simpson, Bruce Banner, Bruce Wayne, Christian Kopitz, Edmund McMillan, Herbert Hill, Helena Fiorenza, Travis Foster, Katie Yaw, and so on and so on and so on in their respective original homes, cities, countries where they were before. But I know what's happening. The toxic, evil, darkest-thing individuals, including Vladimir Putin, Joshua Boone, Donald Trump, Kenneth Irving Engelhart, Opus Con 79, Isabella, and so on, left behind were getting removed from the Earth in 2022. After that cleanup is completed, we all go with our Earth as is under us, get returned in place of that cleaned up Earth. Everyone from February 28, 2006 will return there, and everyone from as early as December 2022 and after will return there at their origin points respectively. Only our Earth whole and tangibly undivided. Nobody, absolutely nobody died among us. We are all alive, safe, and well, and continue to be alive, and so forth. I, in my goddess blue heart form, teleport to the driveway of the old Sonichu temple. I focus on the ultimate miracle and the events, and with a flash around all of us and our Earth, recombined and undivided. Ultimate God of God, ultimate miracle, chaos, rainbow, control! But yeah, everyone else who had come from the future as early as December 22 and after will all return to respective dates and times of origin. As the manifestation or flashlight bay cleared, portals opened right underneath each and every single individual from the future of February 2006. For some, they simply awoke in their respective beds. For the remainder, their portal opened to either right above their bed or right above their chair or sofa cushion in the matching furniture, and they fell back onto their respective cushions. Everyone remembered their respective events and happenings, as well as everyone they had interacted and or worked with in person. On the following morning, I awoke at 8:30 a.m. between Badger Chad Sonichu Prime and a certain lady whose name will not be mentioned in my bedroom at the new Sonichu Temple in Virginia on our fully undivided Earth of Universe 1C211987. I looked to the lady to my right in her favorite shirt as she rolls over, senses me awake, and tells me,
Why is it that you always wake up so early, Christine?
Chan tells her, well, Christine has a lot of energy in her, so she is often likely to be up with the sunlight. I smile and tell them both good morning. I look at the iHome clock radio reading the time. Then I check my iPhone reading the date. Saturday, February 24th, 2024. In the moment, I look around my room in its glory once again. Then I look down upon my medallion chakra port and find myself wearing the Sonichu medallion and my favorite sleepwear. Sylvana Rochew enters after having had breakfast herself to see us awake. Well, good morning, darlings. The weather has cleared up. I confirm now, COVID-19 is 100% clear with the vaccine still offered as an option. Yet monkeypox remains a very minor problem, but that is clearing up better. And, Christine, darling, the new Russian president has been elected and promises to give it the LGBTQ and religion and spiritual freedoms there, as well as vowing to help Ukraine rebuild as quickly as possible with no intentions of an invasion whatsoever. Ah, that is excellent news, I replied with a smile. Griselle Rochew enters and tells us,
And I just heard that Donald Trump wants to run for president again. We will have to make positive he does not get voted in again.
Right, we all say in unison. I look around the room once again. Okay. Meanwhile, in Quickville, Sonichu Prime and Rosie Roshi Prime were enjoying breakfast with Berta Sonichu and her wife, while Sarah and her wife started the day with their yoga poses. Christine Rochew was contemplating over her next flashing light with her husband. Excuse me a second. While Sonichu, Simona Rochew, Sabina Rochew, and Sandy Rochew were setting off for their fourth day work of the week, locking the door to their underground home under the treehouse in the park. Punchy Sonichu was enjoying breakfast with Sugar Rochew and reading a Quickville Press. And there you go, there's your ship right there, Punchy and Sugar. Angelica Rochew was meditating on the blessings for everyone on this spiritual love day. Bubbles Rochew and Donnie Sonichu were about to set off for another day of ocean cleaning and scouting, and Blake Sonichu looking to meet with Ralph Knock at his apartment for a guy's day of chilling and working out and whatever was sounding good. And it was starting out as another good day in Quickville with Mewtwo Prime and a Psychic Squadron on watch and guard while the citizens start yet another busy and lucrative day. Back on Tuesday, February 28, 2006 at about 2:30 p.m., after our work was done in Quickville, Sonichu, Rosie, Badger-chan, Sonichu, Pride, Christian, Crystalia, Sonic, Tails, and everyone were regained their composure, recalling what had happened. Sonichu and everyone remembered me, Doopie, S&T, Lightning Bliss, Roberta, Sonichu, and so on. But Doopie, S&T, Roberta, and the youngsters, Courtney, and even Sancha and Sonica were not around. Sonic Acorn recollected the fight in Ukraine against Russia, as did Nicole. There was no darkness over Quickville or the area of Virginia, and the 4 boxes that had been set up that made the dark, including the darkness ores and amplifiers, were all smashed and rendered absolutely non-functional. Sonic checked and confirmed he still had the orange Chaos Crystal Ball. Sonichu, Chris, Kristen, Rosie, and Punchy did not have their Chaos Crystal Balls. Their use and purpose for the time have been exhausted, and the 7 Chaos Crystal Balls once again have been dispersed to become active and collected another day. Back on February 24th, 2023 in California, Danielle / Doopie, she was waking up next to her usually abusive Dalton once again. Matt, also known as AY, was chilling at his house in Germany, content that Putin was long gone, that war was over, and inflation was undone, with gasoline now back down to about $2.50 a gallon and groceries no longer overpriced. President Lisa Simpson at the White House begins her day with her staff in place at the new, lost, and late Joe Biden. Christine, Cosmic Keyframe, she wakes up from a visionary dream next to her golden fox at home. Dr. Wolf in Equestria was enjoying breakfast with his lovely day. Actually, between Christine and Keyframe, you can just pretty much see that for both of them, the human and the pony counterparts. Anyway, Obab Scribbler still had the expanding book of my God's Law pages, but she was happily back at her home in Equestria. As for KP, Lightning Bliss with her twink, Silver Quill, and the Think Tankers back in their respective homes now. SNT ended up waking in Quickville in Tails' or rather Charlie Chaz Sonichu's house with Saki. SNT got her special scrunchie back in place on her quills. Rookie ended up back at his home in the Sonic Forces universe. Courtney woke in her room with her sister Saki there, but Courtney still had her Sailor Senshi transformation pen. Crystar had returned home to her partner as well. Yep, everyone for 2022 and after all had returned as promised. And now for the last detail of import. Team Rocket Base, Virginia, February 28, 2006, 2:35 p.m. Liquid Chris has gained a message from me inside the breakout cartridge. Well, Liquid Chris Sonichu, you've completed your last level for now, but note, you are going to have more challenges ahead. Well, do not be a mischief maker now. Later, Liquid feels the entire room shaking massively. Researcher Derek was shaking the cartridge playfully before inserting it into the newly set up Commodore 64 computer at Team Rocket Base and booting up the console. Within seconds, as he had planned, Liquid digitally made his way to the cloning machine, activated with his voice saying, "Pokemon identified, beginning cloning process." And like an exact single toy off the assembly in his human form, Liquid, and still able to transform back to his Sonichu form, by the way, Liquid Chris Sonichu had physically returned. He took his first news breath and cackled. Then he noticed he did not have his glasses, and he was totally naked. But his medallion chakra glowed, and his Sonichu medallion, as it was, returned. End of Chaos Crystal Control Act 8. Rank SS, and I'm going to put subtitles on this so you can read this along. Sui coda lapsesit siligarphila crepus. That's a certain word spelled backwards. Look it up. And that is essentially it for Act 8 of Chaos Crystal Control. Tune in next time as we begin the epilogue, extra and plus pages. Expect another multi-parter with that. And this is essentially what's going to happen to Liquid Chew at that part. So just more to look forward to still. With that being all said, continue to go forward with that which is light-powered and good. Take care, be safe, and well. Go, Transformers! Transformers, go! Transformers! More than meets the eye. Go, Transformers!